But given who he is as a man, his nature, he puts that second. He puts the mission first, and he's just selfless. That's it's a fun character, I guess.
Those put on the suit T-shirts are going to be large, though. Put on the suit T-shirts. They're going to be large.
Yeah, the fish out of water. Yeah, I mean, we all kind of fell into that category. I mean, Josh said it early on, the dysfunctional family, and we somehow belong in amongst the fact that we don't belong anywhere else. Thor, yeah, is from another planet, and I guess his motivation through, the conflict and the villain was far more personal than the rest of them because it was his brother. So, it was nice to have already shot that film and have that relationship with Tom, and that was sort of my focus anyway. But I think we all, as I said, we all kind of didn't get along at the beginning, and certainly we're from some other planet or some other world, so it was fun to play that dynamic.
Guys, first, congratulations, incredibly entertaining and a lot of fun. Among many of the moments last night, the premiere that got great reaction was the 360 shot when they're all assembled on the street. I guess I'm just kind of curious, was it as simple shooting it as it looks like it may have been? What was really the composition and getting it right, and the excitement that must have been there for you guys finally coming together like that?
I remember thinking on that day that was, this is the trailer shot, or this is the big moment, because we'd been on the bridge, in the first scene you see we're all together, but we weren't getting along at that point, whereas, and that moment was, we finally were assembled and there, and same team, and big 360 wide shot, and all the chaos around us, and that, I certainly remember thinking, this is the moment.
Well,
They felt nothing.
Can I answer? Yeah. Guys, this is for a site for kids. I was wondering if each of you could tell me what you like best about your character. What makes your guy special to you? Come on, guys. You like him for some reason.
Yeah. I like this. We're all told to be so well behaved, and I think we all sometimes are bursting at the seams to let it rip, and Bruce Banner gets that moment, and I think part of the joy for people is to actually see that happen is exciting for us. It's a nice way for us to blow off steam in watching movies, and yes, especially me.
I'll say his heart, his selflessness. He wasn't born a superhero. This didn't happen to him by accident. He was chosen, and it was for those reasons, values and morals. He puts other people, other causes ahead of himself, and it's something to aspire to.
Well, that he didn't really set out to do anything noble, but so he's kind of in transition, and so there's something kind of a little more Han Solo than Luke. And also the fact that he can pull off wearing a Black Sabbath T-shirt for the better part of the film.
I like the sort of visceral sort of gut instinct that Thor has, and there's a bit of I always thought the childlike quality in the sense that if he believes something or he wants to do something, he does it and says it. There's kids own their environment. There's no opinions that they really care about. And I think Thor is, it's there. It's surrounded by bravado and strength and all that. But end of the day, he's pretty true to who he is and what he wants to do. And I think that was fun to play with.
I just like the fact that Nick Fury believes that these unique individuals deserve the love and admiration of the world, who we pretty much owe everything to, because there are things out there greater than us.
And playing Kevin Feige, what do you think the best?
The best part is I just get to sit here and listen and watch you guys.
Kevin Feige is an archetype, by the way.
Question for Chris. Your relationship with Loki is really interesting. It's complicated, and I was just wondering if you pulled from your real life relationships, or talk to me about that.
Yeah, the last time either one of my brothers tried to take over the world, or the universe, I had to think back and thought, how did I feel? But I mean, when we did Thor, was Ken Branagh kept saying, let's not get caught in playing gods or what have you. It's truthful. You have brothers, and how do you relate to that? And that became the thread through Thor and through this, which was, it's a kind of thing of, look, I can give my brother a hiding and tell him off, but no one else can, And,
but don't you feel that Liam is trying to take over your box office universe?
And I did say that. I said, look, Liam...
Doesn't he need to be corrected in some way?
I know. There's... he's got a few bruises currently from... well, there's a race to the box office. But, yeah. I don't know.
This question is for Kevin, and guys, if you'd like to jump in on it as well. What is it that makes Joss the perfect person to take over and helm this project?
Well, my big fear with this, really one of the only big fears I had, was that the whole thing would collapse under its own weight, that we'd spend so much time with costumes and superpowers and special effects that these characters and these actors wouldn't get the chance to... My biggest interest in the Avengers is the interaction between these people. And looking at Joss's body of work and the scripts that he's written in his TV shows, the characters never ever get lost. In fact, those are the moments that shine. So that was to me why he was by far the best choice to mount this. We're confident in our ability to handle a production of this size. We want a helmsman to come in and steer it in unexpected ways and to guide that tone, which is what Joss has done so well.
All right, I got one for you right here. There's a lot of hand-to-hand combat in this movie. When you guys were filming it, were there any accidents, real-life bruises that you went home with at the end of the day?
I had one. The scene where has everyone seen the movie? Where Thor takes Loki off the ship and lands, and then we go into the big sort of two-hander. And so I was on a wire because I hadn't learnt to fly yet, and I had to come down and land on the cliff, and land and step and have the conversation. And the first couple of takes, and this has got to turn up on the DVD extras somewhere, but it just face planted into the dirt. Incredibly ungraceful and un-superhero-like. That's my story.
Jeremy Renner is the only one you can ask him when you see him. Jeremy Renner did have a little bit of an injury. Yeah. It didn't last very long, thankfully.
Right here in the front. Right here. You guys, there was a lot of unexpected comedy in the movie, at least from my perspective, and you guys were all great with comic timing and working together comedically. Can you guys all each individually talk about what it was like doing the comedy and how you guys all like connected together, and maybe even off screen, or if you guys changed lines or improvised, like what was that like?
Well, I think anytime you do a scene with Downey, he's so good with improv and working off the cuff. He's never going to do the same thing twice, So you got to be on your toes. But he just has a natural, up here he's just funny, he's always funny. So he brings a certain life to the scene. Even if you're not the one making jokes, you can appreciate what he brings to any scene in terms of comedy.
I concur.
I mean, Joss also, the script, the line where I say he's adopted, got a big laugh last night, which is, I had no idea. When we shot that, I went, is this really funny, But that's the thing, all that stuff. I mean, Joss he's hilarious, and then the whole film, I was surprised how, the comedy in it played so well.
Well, I mean, again, in seeing it last night, I think what everybody captured to a character is it was the right tone, and at a certain point, you without killing it, you kind of tip your hat to, we don't take it too seriously. This is essentially a comic book movie, but you kind of buy into the reality of it. So I think everyone has their moments, and I think Joss did a good job of finding everyone's frequency. I'm pretty sure God doesn't dress like that before he jumps off. It was still within the realm of what Steve would say and do. But I think also tonally, there's this moment where they're in the final battle, and once he turns green, or once my helmet closes, where he's in upstate New York and I'm back in L.A., and these guys are on the ground, and there was this whole huge sequence after sequence, and there's all the stuff shot in Cleveland, and I don't think we ever had to go to Cleveland for one. So I kept squeezing the missus' hand last night during these just incredible sequences that you guys did, and just going, they shot a lot in Cleveland. But there's this moment where the cop goes to Cap, well, you know, why should we take orders from you? And then these, you know, some of the aliens come in and he handles them, and then the audience really appreciated that. That to me was the moment where the sentiment of where Avengers could have fallen flat on its face and had people not be able to suspend their disbelief or get behind it anymore. That was to me, the Act 3 moment where the movie succeeded. And so whether it was, I would speak to Joss's wit, whether the wit is funny or whether the wit is actually being able to hold the whole you know, myriad of ideas and notions that you have to get right for Avengers not to be bunk, is what he accomplished.
Hi. So my question is, what are your favorite geek references, like from the script, that you guys are like really excited to perform or say, or even from each other's lines?
I remember reading the script and reading, you know, the section where Hulk and Thor finally are on the same team and fighting the aliens and what have you, and they end, and it's both standing there out of breath, and Hulk just backhands Thor through a wall. That was something I look forward to. But yeah, me on a wire, just getting yanked out of shot. You know, that's good.
Question? Just one more question, please.
Just want to go on with what you guys were saying about Joss and how great he is at ensembles and everything like that. That scene where it's finally all of you together, and I sort of call it the Thanksgiving scene, when you guys really start to get into each other, and Joss shoots it in a way that none of you are you know, disappear in the background. You all kind of hold your own. Can you guys talk about that scene, what he gave you, etc.?
What scene is that?
Oh, the scene on the bridge of
on the
ship.
bridge when everybody's arguing.
Yes.
That was kind of like that was like the second day big scene, because everybody shows up that first day, and that was like the second big day when we were in the bridge, and you got the spear in your hand. That was an interesting scene, because I didn't really know all that was going on in that scene. Yeah. When everybody starts talking at once until all of a sudden it happened, and we were just kind of, we're having an argument. Oh, and nobody's listening to anybody. We're just kind of batting stuff around. Like, hey, I'm blaming you for this. You blaming you. So you're not my guy. You know, hey, I don't know anything about your world. Come to your world and tear up. No, hell. Which is what I kept wanting to say. I said, don't come to your world and blow up. You know, they wouldn't let me say it. But we were in that moment where we all know each other, and we all laughed together. And once we saw each other in that particular setting, it was like, okay, we're actually going to do this. This is going to be a lot of fun. And it's almost like an Our Gang movie, you know. Hey, I've got some costumes. I've got some film. My dad's got a studio. Let's get together. And we just decided, you know, it was like, we're going to have fun. And Joss is one of those guys. I noticed watching the film last night, I thought, why does Robert get to say all this nice, cute? But every time I would change something, he would come to me like, the land police. He'd go, no, you can't say it's. You have to say it is. Really? It's like, okay, it's like a bubble, you know, cartoon bubble. So he was always on me, and I was talking to the land police a lot, and he let those guys do it. But you know, the family feeling was there. Josh set up the rules, and we showed up, and we played by the rules of that world. You know, certain people have license. He's, you know, the rich, smart guy. He's the little guy with the big words that might turn and you up at any moment, but you never know what that is. And he's trying to make him do it, which was like the bad little brother's guy. Watch my brother turn to a monster. So it was a great time doing that and being able to be in that space and allowing an audience to see that, okay, these guys have superpowers, but they have normal kind of attitudes. You know, they get pissed with each other and they argue about petty, and you know, they can be smart and they can be heroes and they can just be jerks, but they eventually are going to find a way to love each other. And thank God, you know, we had somebody there to guide us in that direction.
Thank you. Avengers, everyone.